I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And today is the weekly Tuesday Power Rankings. But I'm going to keep this intro short. I don't want this video to be too long. But you guys already know what to do. Subscribe. Stay safe, all that. So, let's go ahead and get into it. First, we have Washington. This is another hard team to rate because it's had so many problems. I'm going to put them... I'm gonna put them at an F. I'm going to put them at an F. I just don't... Quarterback situation. You know, Alex Smith played well. They're just not able to win those close games at all against Detroit, and they had every opportunity to win that game. They just weren't able to capitalize on their own opportunity. So I'm going to put the Washington football team at an F. Next, we have San Francisco. This team, it's not as bad as their record. They just have way too many injuries. This football team is absolutely decimated by injuries. The injury bug has absolutely hit this football team hard. And it's not a very bad team. It's just the injuries. Next, D. I don't want to spend too much time on them, man. I'm already irritated about this offense. I hate to put them so low. It's just this offense is so bad. This offense is absolutely atrocious. And they need to apologize to the defense for being so awful. And let's move on. I don't even want to get my blood boiling about the Bears anymore. Next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to put them at a D, but this team is a lot better than what their record says. Despite the struggle against Pittsburgh, who I still think is the most complete team, this Bengals team is a whole lot better than what their record says. Joe Burrow, I'm really liking what he's becoming. And it's going to take some time for this Bengals team to really grow, but they are a lot better than what their record says. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills. You know what? I'm still going to put them... I'm going to have them at an A. And the thing is... Albeit that DeAndre Hopkins' play was absolutely amazing. And if it wasn't for that, they would have probably won that football game against Arizona. They made plays necessary. I still believe in this Bills team. They're probably going to win the AFC East the way things are looking at this point. So I still believe in this Buffalo Bills team. This defense is a lot better. Josh Allen is playing like a really good quarterback. And the running game is starting to get going a little bit. So I'm going to still going to put the Bills at an A despite the heartbreaking loss. Next, we have the Denver Broncos. I'm going to put them at an F. Drew Lock is just not looking like the guy. He's just not looking like the guy. And this is also a team that's been hurt by injuries. So I'm going to put them in an F. Next, we have Cleveland. Cleveland's going to be at a B. I really do believe Baker Mayfield is a really good quarterback. The running game with Nick Chubb being back is absolutely getting better. And Kareem Hunt being that second guy is absolutely good. Myles Garrett is probably looking like a defensive player of the year the way he's been playing right now. So I'm a believer in this Cleveland Browns football team, but it just happens to be there and probably one of the toughest divisions in the NFL in that AFC North. Next, we're going to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm also going to put them at a B. It just really... This Tampa Bay Buccaneers football team, I am sold on them offensively. It's just defensively, they can use some work, at least in my opinion. That defense can really use some work as it stands right now at this very moment. I'm still a believer that this offense is really talented and a really good team. But defensively, I just still think this Buccaneers team needs some work, mainly in the secondary. Next, we have Arizona. I'm also going to put Arizona at a B. I've been a believer in this Arizona Cardinal football team. DeAndre Hopkins is probably, to me, the best wide receiver in football. Kyler Murray is playing one hell of a year. And that defense is playing a lot better than I expected without Chandler Jones in the lineup. So I'm going to put the Arizona Cardinals at a B. Next, we have the LA Chargers. I'm going to put the Chargers at the D. The Chargers are, to me, they are a really good team. They are not able to pull off close wins, which has really, really hurt them throughout the course of this season. They have not been able to pull out those very, very tight games and close games. So I'm going to put the LA Chargers at a D. Next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to put them in at A. Their offense is too good. Patrick Mahomes is playing on an MVP level once again. The defense still, I think, is not the best suit. But when you have an offense that is dynamic like this one, it can really hide a defense that I personally think is just not a very good defensive unit. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to put I clicked the wrong team. I am going to put the Indianapolis Colts at a C. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from their defense. And I think special teams really, really won in that game against Tennessee. Their special teams unit played absolutely well, and all three phases of the game are key parts of a football game. Just not offensive, defense. Their special teams won them that football game, and offensively, they were moving the ball on a really good Tennessee Titans defense. It just sometimes they weren't able to capitalize those opportunities into touchdowns until later on in that football game. But Indianapolis Colts team, I think, is a very, very competitive team. So I'm going to put them at a C for now. Next, Dallas, F. They have too many problems on offense, quarterback injuries. The defense is almost as bad as Bears offense. So I'm going to put the Cowboys in an F. And you guys, you know what? The entire NFC East goes in an F. The entire NFC East is at an F. This is just by far the worst division in football. The Eagles are not playing very well. The Giants are not playing very well. Washington is not playing very well. That entire division is just it's a show, if you know what I mean. That division is absolutely god awful, and it's hard to watch, especially when you're putting this entire division on prime time so much. Nobody wants to see this division play football right now. Nobody wants to see them play football. It's just bad. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins. This team, I am very, very shocked. I think this is the biggest surprise of this season is the Miami Dolphins. They are the biggest surprise this season. Even with the switch from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Tua, they are still playing absolutely good football. They are still playing absolutely good football. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Tua. The defense is creating a lot of turnovers and being opportunistic. Brian Flores, I can really see Brian Flores being a very good Coach of the Year candidate. The way he has this Dolphins team turned around, this Dolphins team is playing absolutely good football. So I'm going to put them at a B. I know it's surprisingly high, but watching this Dolphins team, they have been a big surprise, and they have been a lot better than what I expected them. Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons. Offensively, I like this Falcons offense. It's just defense. Defense for me for the Falcons. I really like them offensively. Matt Ryan's played well. Julio, along with Calvin Ridley, has been playing well. Todd Gurley has been having some games. Of course, they've had a bye last week. But I really still believe in this Falcons offense. It's just this defense is just not very good. It's not very good at all. Jacksonville, I'm also going to put them in the F. Not a fan of them. As much as this Jaguars team is another team that's just hard to watch play. It is a hard watch for this Jacksonville Jaguars football team. The Jets, they have their own category. Haven't won a game yet. Worst team in football. Worst ran organization in football. Next, we have the Detroit Lions. Now I'm liking what I see from Matthew Stafford. I've been on, like I've said on numerous occasions, I think he is the most underrated quarterback in football. He's just stuck on a really bad team with the organization that is not much better. I like Matthew Stafford. I would take him on the Bears right now, to be honest. He's a very good quarterback to me, and he's just stuck on a bad team and a bad organization. I like what I see from him offensively. DeAndre Swift is starting to get some things going. Kenny Golladay, who's also an underrated wide receiver in this league. I just think their problem lies defensively. They have not been able to play consistent football on the defensive side of the ball, and it's been costing them games. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, that part. Let's move on. I don't even want to give too much praise to the Packers, but you got to call a spade a spade. This team's really, really good. Aaron Rodgers is looking like a very good quarterback. He's definitely in the MVP race. Even though I still have my suspicions about this defense who's not been playing absolutely good football lately, but I'm still believing in Aaron Rodgers as much as I hate him. But got to call a spade a spade. Packers are a very good football team. Next, we have the Carolina Panthers. Despite their record, I gotta put them at a C. I like what I see from Carolina. I just do. Now, this is just, I'm not basing this off records. I just like how this Carolina football team looks. I'm a fan of Teddy Bridgewater. I love how he's playing football. It's just, to me, their defense has to improve. Their defense really has to improve. Even without Christian McCaffrey for most of the season, this offense has still been very, very productive. I'm just not sold on that defense. They still need to get some pieces here and there, especially, I think, more in that secondary. Outside of Chin, who's been a very impressive rookie, I think the suspect of the secondary is just suspect. Next, we have the New England Patriots. This was hard, but I'm going to put them in a C as well. Coming off a big upset against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday night. Cam Newton has not been looking great this year. The defense looked a lot better against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Even though I think they still can use some improvement, especially on the offensive side of the ball with the weapons. Cam Newton is starting to play a little bit better. He has not been great. The running game has been somewhat productive, but I just think their defense has been stepping up when they've been needing to. So I'm going to put the Patriots at a C. Next, we're talking about their opponents from last week in the Ravens. I'm going to put them at a B. Lamar Jackson is a very good quarterback. It's just they still, to me, struggle to throw outside the numbers. That's been my huge thing about this Ravens offense. I think they're struggling to throw outside. And when you take away a lot of the running game for the Ravens, their offense starts to become stagnant almost. So I am a believer in Lamar Jackson can get things together, but I just think they struggle outside the numbers offensively. They're great up the middle team. Mark Andrews is a very good tight end. His defense has been absolutely astounding, but I just believe their inability to really attack outside the numbers is going to catch up with them. Next, we have the Raiders, who's also been playing some really, really good football. I'm going to put the Raiders at a C. I like how Derek Carr is playing football. I like how this offense is moving. The defense has been stepping up and playing a lot better. So I'm going to put the Raiders at a C. I'm really liking what I see from this team. I'm really liking what I see from them defensively by creating turnovers. Heath with 2 picks last week. So I'm going to put the Raiders here at a C. Next, we have the LA Rams. I'm putting the Rams at a B. I'm really like how this defense is playing. They really played Seattle well, got after the quarterback. The offense has been steady and consistent with the running game with Donald Brown and Henderson. Goff has been playing some solid football as well. And I like the way the Rams offense has been designed so far this year. Their defense played a lot better, albeit against the suspect Seattle offensive line. But they've been playing some really good football. Next, we're going to have the Saints. I'm going to put them at an A. But the injury to Drew Brees really, really will tell how this Saints team is going to be going forward. The injury to Drew Brees could it really damage this football team? Can it hurt this football team? Because Drew Brees has played at an MVP level up to this point, and his injury with the broken cracked ribs or the collapsed lung is really sounding damaging. It really sounds damning. It is damaging and is damning to this football team. So I'm going to have him at an A for this very moment, but that can very well change, and that depends on how this offense looks without Brees. Defensively, they've been stepping up and playing a lot better, but I'm really interested how this Saints team is going to look without Brees going forward. Next, we have Seattle, losers of their 3 out of their last 4. I'm going to drop them down to a B, and I think that's probably the lowest I've had them this season. It's just their defense is not very good. And offensively, outside of Russell Wilson spreading the ball to his receivers, the offensive line is just not very good. The offensive line is not very good. The running game can be a bit better. It's just they struggle to protect Russell Wilson. They struggle to protect Russell Wilson, and the defense struggles to stop anybody. Russell Wilson, to me, is still the front runner for the MVP. It's just that defense and that offensive line has not been playing very well, and they've lost 3 out of their last 4 contests. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to put them easily at an A. I still believe this is the most complete team in football, with Big Ben, James Conner, and Chase Claypool looking like an absolute steal in the draft. That defense playing well with T.J. Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick flying all over the football field. Joe Hayden still playing really good football. So, and I'll be one to be honest with you guys, I am a huge fan of Mike Tomlin's coaching. I love Mike Tomlin as a football coach. So I still think the Steelers are the most complete team in football. Next, we have the Houston Texans. They have so many issues. They don't have a lot of weapons outside. Still trading DeAndre Hopkins is stupid. Even though Deshaun Watson has been playing like Deshaun Watson, that defense has been very well underwhelming. It has been an underwhelming defense. If you look at this defense on paper, you have the talent to be a very good defense, but they just been underperforming, and it's been underwhelming that this defense has not looked very good. Next, you have the Tennessee Titans. They're also at a B. The special teams, I think, really, really cost them against Indy. The offense did not play that bad, and the defense was put in bad situations because their special teams unit missing field goals, blocking punts. They were just put in a lot of bad spots by bad special teams performance, and I think that really cost them the game. I'm still a believer in this Titans team with Vrabel at the helm, Derrick Henry, who I think is the best pure running back in football. Tannehill can make some plays, and that defense has been playing well. But I just feel that special teams has cost them last week against Indy. So I'm going to put the Titans at a B. And last but not least, we have the Minnesota Vikings, who Kirk Cousins finally got over his Monday night whims and beat my Bears. And I'm going to put them at a D. I'm still not a believer in Kirk Cousins, to be honest with you guys. Dalvin Cook did not play well last night either. It's just the fact that, let's just face it, they were playing the worst offensive football in the Chicago Bears. And if the Bears' offense wasn't so bad, I think the Vikings would have lost that contest. Because their offensive running game was not getting going. And they were a benefactor of good field position because the Bears' offense was not moving the football. So I still believe in Dalvin Cook. It was just not a good showing for him against the Bears defense. And Kirk Cousins did make the plays when he needed to. Adam Thielen is a very good wide receiver in this league. It's just their defense still, to me, is just not a very good defense. It's just the fact that their defense was playing the worst offense in football in my Bears. The worst offense in football. But That's all I got for you guys. Be sure to leave a like on the video so you can help beat the YouTube algorithm. Comment your thoughts down below. Share the video and make sure that you guys click that subscribe button. But that's all I've got. APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next in the day, and I'll see you guys in the next vid. Peace.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister, and my brother.